Hello, everybody. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Sunday, September 2nd, 2012. Well, I guess some of you guys watched my video, the Labor Day video, even though I need to correct the title. I should say Labor Day weekend, because tomorrow's Labor Day. Anyway, um, I guess some of you guys disagree and think I'm really wrong about the economy. And some people pointed out facts that during the Great Depression, 70% of the people were employed. But it was a depression. But I don't think you can compare the depression then with what's going on now. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, back in the depression, there was scarcity. Here, there still seems to be an abundance. I mean, some things are going to probably be scarce, like corn, and a few other things that grown on the farm due to droughts and floods and things of that nature. But for the most part, I mean, even gasoline, they mess with the prices because of the hurricane and gas line or pipeline disruptions, but it still seems to be flowing. It's not like they're put a limit on how many gallons you can buy. And like I said, I mean, look at the magazines. Look at the advertising. There's just a lot of money being spent. Not to mention, this is an election year. Look at how much has been raised and is being spent on political ads that basically do no good. I mean, I guess the media companies are the ones profiting. But I do understand that, for some people, times are tough. But that's always going to be true. If you lose your means of income production, and in most cases that's a job, I mean, the spigots run dry. What are you going to do? Times is tough. I understand that. I sympathize with some people because, like I said, a friend of mine lost their job. Go to work one day, you're fired. Fortunately, they're prepared. But I still think, in my opinion, and once again, it's just my opinion, that there's nothing wrong with the economy. I mean, not when on Labor Day with gas prices at all-time high, there's tourists out there, people spending money. Somebody pointed out that, some people just don't get a clue till it's too late. And you know what? I agree with you. I'm not going to argue that at all. But I still think that between the media and the politicians, they're just trying to program your brain into believing the economy's bad. So if they can make up a problem, then they get to make up a solution. And that might be the crux of the issue. The root cause is that maybe many of these problems, societal problems, are government created so there can be a government solution. Because it seems that seems to be their knee-jerk reaction to just about everything. The nanny state. Mommy and daddy have to take care of the kids. As opposed to just saying, well, people, do the best you can. Instead of, well, let's, write some laws, pass some laws, create a new agency, have a committee, and then have a subcommittee, and then have more meetings. Just layers and layers of bureaucracy. When if they probably just stepped aside, people would figure it out on their own. But I guess that's not what government wants to do. They want to fix everything. Well, they sure fixed it all right. But anyway, that's just the way that goes. Guess there's a few other things on some videos, and yeah, the wind chime video, the one where I hung the camera up and the wind was blowing it, I warned you guys, don't watch. I said, just listen, don't watch. So if you got sick and got seasick or whatever, I tried to warn you. Guess I'm gonna have to put a Surgeon General's warning on it or something. Watching this video might make you nauseous or something. But I was also looking at the news sites on the internet and talking to people. In fact, yesterday I had a real good talk with my friend Robert. I ran into him downtown while I was recording that video. We talked about a whole bunch of different things. And I saw a few people that had Obama 2012 stickers on there, which made me think of something. Because, like I said, I always say, oh, you're Obama, you're for Obama. Tell me why, I'm curious. I never try to persuade them to think otherwise. I just want to know why they think the way they think. Maybe I'll learn something. But the one thing I figured out is that, you know, we have these Republicans and Democrats. And people have been divided into Republicans and Democrats, and they think along those lines, as opposed to saying, what's best for the country? What do we really need? And it doesn't matter if it's coming from a Republican or Democrat. If that's what's best for the country, let's go that route. But you know, these people are just hard party lines, and that's part of the reason why we're in the mess we're in today. And you know, some people just believe what the media and those attack ads say. You know, Republicans are all about money. That's what one Obama 2012 person told me. I go, really? What makes you think that? Well, that's just how they are. Oh, okay. So you see, they're fixed. The Matrix has them. There's, you know, that mind probably can't be freed. And it's just real interesting how these people have been programmed, brainwashed into believing that party line. It's almost like a cult when you think about it. They don't question. They sit there, they listen, they nod their heads, they take it all in, and then they regurgitate it. They don't question authority. They don't research the facts for themselves. It's really interesting how that happens. Now, a lot of these people, they don't go to public meetings. Nope, I haven't seen them there. You know, they're too busy working, raising their family, tending to their gardens, paying bills, taking little family outings, you know, watching sports, cooking food, doing chores, just, you know, basically living their life. but they're just buying the party line. So I think we're going to be stuck where we are probably for years, if not decades, unless people just decide that, you know what, instead of just following the party line, I got to research and I got to think really what's best for the company. And, you know, once again, most of the issues on the table are divisive issues, social issues that government probably has no reason to be involved with in the first place. I mean, I had a discussion last night with a couple friends, and they're talking about, you know, women's rights and abortion. And so I pointed out, I said, you know, it's kind of interesting because when you start talking about, you know, abortion and life and when, you know, when does life begin, it was, I read this, I think it's the best argument that I've seen for the pro-lifers. They said if a single cell can be discovered on Mars and they can call that life, you know, then how come that single cell inside the woman isn't life? You know, personally, I don't know. I guess because I'm a man. Choice, pro-life, to me that's probably a really tough call. It's not for me to say for anybody else. And I don't think it's one of those things, I don't think anybody should impose their will upon another person. But when you talk about the definition of life, you know, it's like you can't have it both ways. Anyway, then they started talking about, you know, gays and gay rights and gay marriage. And, you know, I'm of the opinion that, you know, marriage traditionally is man and a woman. Now, there's many things that can be done short of having marriage redefined to give people equal rights under the law. But the bottom line is that, you know, if there's a man and he has a girlfriend and his girlfriend gets in an accident, she's in the hospital, that he can't go in there because he's not married to her. Well, then I guess if a man has a boyfriend and his boyfriend gets in an accident, he can't go in because they're not family. But if the man and the woman are married and she gets in an accident, he can go in. Well, I guess what the gays say, well then if a man and a man, if they have a civil union, then he should be able to go in. I got no problem with that. And that's their business. But once again, you know, does government really need to be involved? I mean, all these laws and rules, I mean, can't you fill out a form somewhere, put down who can come into the room, or just say, hey, you know, if somebody wants to see somebody, why not? I mean, I guess there's reasons why they do that, but I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll have to find out. Maybe they're good reasons, maybe they're not. Who knows? But, you know, people are going to base their vote on these issues that are personal, social, but do they really have any business in regards to running the country? I mean, and I tell people, what is a country? Usually it's a geographic area defined by borders. And then certain rules, customs, language. I think Mike Savage has something on his radio show, which I can't get out here because I guess, I don't know if it's broadcast here or not, but he talks about, what is it, borders, culture, and language. That's what defines a country. You know, yeah, this is America, speak English. Don't like pressing 1 for English. But then again, to me, if I call a government agency, I shouldn't have to press 1. But if I call a business, privately owned business, publicly owned business, doesn't matter if it's listed on the stock exchange or not, if they want to have a phone system that says press 1 for English and 2 for Spanish, that's their choice, their right. And then I could choose to maybe find a company that doesn't have that. And if I can't find a company that doesn't have that, well then, so be it. But I take issue when ballots are printed in Chinese and Japanese and Spanish. It's just like, you come to this country, you learn the language. I mean, that's the way it used to be. That's the way, in my opinion, it should be. And I know this video is probably getting into boring range, or maybe you want to call it a rant, but I just want to kind of clear up a bunch of different things here, because I made a lot of videos and there's probably some loose ends that need to be tied. And just so people know, if they care to know where I stand on certain things, how I feel about it. But once again, it's just my opinion. And if you guys don't agree with me and you put that in the replies, I don't mind. I'm not going to delete your replies. We can have a nice civil debate, you know, just as long as it doesn't get personal and start stupid things like name calling, unless it's just in jest, you know. Like I say, you can say, hey, Rumple One, you're off your rocker. It's like, you know, oh yeah, another thing. You know, I've never been in the Army. No, I got this at the Salvation Army thrift store. You know, somebody says you're looking kind of militant sometimes. Like, no, I wear these because it's made out of ripstop cloth, and there's blackberry vines and gorse and all kind of nasty stuff out there that, you know, just shreds other material. But this stuff is tough enough. Doesn't come through, and I'm wearing long sleeves to keep, you know, the poison ivy, poison oak, and whatever else poison out off of me. Hey, guess what? There's a deer out there. Hey, check this out. Look at that. Oh, he's just going down the hill. I don't know, he was right over there. He's just walking across. Yeah, last night I spooked about 3 deer driving home. Well, at least he seems to be leaving the apple tree alone. Anyway, maybe that's a good note to end this video on. It's over 18 minutes long. So anyway, I'll probably make a couple more videos, show you what I got at the thrift store or the yard sales yesterday. So meanwhile, though, you have to prepare, because if you fail to prepare today, you're preparing to fail tomorrow.